Okay, let's speak about these biometric devices. And I picked this topic specifically because last week I had more customers come and ask me about the biometric functionality and how it works. They were asking me a bunch of questions, so I just thought it makes sense to come out with a video and explain and cover all the questions that were asked. So this is a biometric device. This is one model that we have. It has facial recognition. It has fingerprint scanning. It has RFID and a pin-based clock in, clock out. You can get a variety of models. We do have one without the facial recognition and only with the pin. But if you require all the features that this device has, then this is the one to go with. Now, the way this works is when you need to clock in, clock out, you simply stare at the camera on the device, which is right here. It works in both the day and night because it had these illuminated RFID lights that will light up your face and you can clock in and out. The other way to do it is with the fingerprint scanning. You just place your finger on top of the scanner and it would identify you and clock you in and clock you out. It's an excellent option if you want to avoid buddy punching altogether because it's very difficult to replicate the fingerprint to clock in, clock out. And also it's very difficult to replicate the face. This is a 3D face scanner, so you cannot place a photo in front of it and to clock you in and clock you out. If you have the need to have multiple of these devices, let's say one at the entrance and one at the exit, you can. Clockit does sync the data between devices, so you can have multiple devices with Clockit. Another question that comes up quite a lot is how is the privacy on these devices? So the fingerprint images are saved locally on the device. We do not sync the fingerprint data on the cloud or we do not remove it from the device. It's all saved locally on the device. Even the face recognition information like the photos are saved internally on the device. They do not make it to the cloud. The way the device works is every time a user is identified, the device would only send us the ID of the user that has been identified, and that's the way we can match the clock in, clock out data with the user that has clocked in. These devices also have both Wi-Fi and Ethernet. It really depends which model that you want to go with. Most customers take both the Wi-Fi and the Ethernet enabled devices. It's very easy to connect. You just connect it to your internet or your Wi-Fi router and you run a port forward, which your IT team would be very familiar with. And if you do not have an IT team, your telecom operator will be quite familiar how to do this. You do the port forward for the device and it should connect directly with our Clockit servers. A good security feature to implement is to have your firewall only allow connections from the Clockit server to the device port, so that way you can make sure all your traffic is safe and encrypted. Another option that this device has is we have the optional battery backup. So if you live in an area where you're having a lot of power fluctuations, it's a good idea to have the battery pack installed. The device would stay on and users can still clock in and out. Another good option with this device is that it works both online and offline. So let's say you have an internet interruption, users can still clock in, clock out. The data is saved locally on the device, and once the device is back online, Clockit would pull all the data and sync everything back into your Clockit account. This device also supports USB-based report download, so you can plug in a USB into the device. You can download the report in CSV. It would be unprocessed data, but you can still do that if there is a need, and you can have those reports saved. These devices are pretty rugged. They are meant for outdoor use. They have the basic certifications for dust and water. It works perfectly well. And if you have a situation where you need a device, one at the entrance and the other side of the door, you need an exit button, this device does support that also. Additionally, this device also supports the magnetic locks and the bolting systems. So we do have connectors at the bottom inside over here. So you can connect this up to your door, and only when the user has been identified will the door open. So that's everything about the biometric time clock. If you run a business and you need a physical clock like this one to be installed, then this is the way to go. You can have this device installed, and every time users clock in and out, you can get real-time information of their attendance in your clock account, be it for your one site, multiple sites, or if you have a single location with multiple devices, you can do that as well. The primary reason why people pick this device or companies pick this device is due to the fact that this is the only device that you need to do the clock in, clock outs. There is no dependency on the employees using the mobiles or the kiosk or any other options. It's just a hardware and it's pretty fast. It takes less than a second for a user to clock in and out. So these are the questions that were asked most commonly in the last week. If you have more questions about the biometric time clock, feel free to send us a message or reach out to us on our website, and we'd be happy to help.